Now, the Electoral Commission is hosting the signing of the Electoral Code of Conduct by political parties and independent candidates contesting the 2024 National and Provincial Elections today. Let's cross to Leanne Manas, who's at Gallagher Convention Centre in Midrand, for more on today's activities. Leanne, good morning once more. And of course, seems everything is moving swiftly, but of course smoothly at what seems to be the new home of the IEC, the new ROC, Results Operations Centre. As you explained to us earlier, we've become so accustomed to the Pretoria showgrounds, and now there's a new home. But talk to us about what the further developments have been since we last spoke to you.
Sakina, not too much happening since you last spoke to us, but obviously it's all about setting things up, getting things ready, sweeping the room. As you can see, we've actually been moved out now, so we hear there's a lot of political leaders that are expected to attend the signing ceremony of the Code of Conduct of the IEC, and rightfully mentioning that this is now really setting us up for what is going to be the Results Operations Centre, and this is where you will see all of the votes being collated and all of the parties watching those screens, and that very exciting election day. Well, this is now going to be the venue that's going to be taking place. But today is the signing of that Code of Conduct, and it's a very important day for these political parties to sign their commitment to ensuring that the IEC can do their work, that South Africa can have free and fair elections, and then, of course, repercussions that they are signing to if they don't. But let's get a little bit more. We've got the chairperson of the IEC who is joining us. As always, Masutu Moepia, always a pleasure to speak to you, and thank you so much for joining us.
Wonderful to be with you, Leanne.
Yeah. So today is a very important point when it gets to the calendar of events building up to the 29th of May. Today is the signing of that Code of Conduct. Talk to us a little bit about it, who we can expect here and how the events are going to unfold.
The Code of Conduct is a very significant part of the process of arranging for elections. It is both symbolic but also mandatory for political parties and their candidates. They've got to, every candidate signs that they will comply with the Code of Conduct once their nomination has been accepted by the Commission and they are candidates in an election. And we know we have over 14,000 of these candidates. It is also important to ensure that political activity is one that promotes tolerance, political tolerance, that it is one that promotes the free and fair campaigning in the country, and one that will lead to an election whose outcomes would be accepted as free and fair. Not only parties and their candidates, but supporters of parties must also comply with the Code of Conduct.
I mean, when we look at the repercussions of breaking this Code of Conduct, talk to us through them. I mean, if a party is found, or a supporter or an independent candidate, to break these Code of Conducts, what are we dealing with here?
We are dealing with the most serious thing that can happen, outcome that can come out of that, is that a party may be removed even from an election and cancelled as its registration cancelled as a political party. Yeah. We have seen in the past where a candidate was removed a day or so before an election, and that can happen. A party, a candidate may even be removed. The party may be fined, and a candidate may be fined. And so it is serious to contemplate what can happen when a party does not comply or a candidate does not comply with the Code of Conduct.
So let's talk about who's going to be here. Does this Code of Conduct have to be signed by the leader or the president of the party, or can a representative sign it? How does it work?
It is a representative of the party, but in many instances, these are leaders of political parties. And let us recall, Leanne, that what we are doing today is symbolic. If a party is not here today, it doesn't mean that they're not bound by the Code. They have agreed to be bound by the Code when they submitted their candidature, in the nomination process. Every one candidate, if they don't sign that they would be bound by the code, they cannot stand as a candidate. So, when someone is not here to promote this code, to sign it symbolically, it doesn't mean that they're not bound by it.
Okay. So we, as far as we know, have got the final ballot has not been determined as yet. Is that correct? There's still some parties with question marks over them.
Yes. This week, all of the appeals that parties and candidates had following the determination by the Commission of the objections lodged against candidates and or parties have been filed with the Electoral Court. The deadline for that was the 2nd of April. We are exchanging papers as I speak to you now, and the court will set dates for these matters to be considered. And we know that by the 10th, those matters would have been finalized. The court is expected to finalize them around the 9th, and so on the 10th would be able to say where are we finally in terms of what does the ballot paper look like, who's in and who's out.
Okay, right. MK Party, do we know what's going on there? Do you think we'll see former President Jacob Zuma here? Because I know that's still in contest as well.
It's possible. We will welcome everyone that is contesting, and none of the people that are in the parties are excluded from today's event. So former President Zuma coming will be most welcome as well.
All right, let's leave it there, Mr. Tumapia. Thank you. Good luck for today. We, of course, will talk more about this, but there's a very big breaking news story that's currently happening. We are, of course, getting news that the former Speaker, Nosiviwe Mapisa Ngakula, has, in fact, of course, left her home, and the convoy has now arrived at the court. She is handing herself over. So let's quickly go back to the Johannesburg studio. Details from there and our reporters on the scene. Sakina?